So yeah, like you said, my name's Chad Carlstone. I do spoken word. I do enough talking as it is, so I'm just going to get right into it. This one's called, here we go. This piece is called, it's called Radio Silence. It goes like this. If a church was made at the base and built up from rejected cornerstones, would its inhabitants crumble at the season's first wind? Or would their bones grow strong enough to carry themselves all alone? It's as if the oceans never knew the answer before the sand became the stone. And so we stood atop our thrones but couldn't tell if they were righteous all along. So we carried ourselves amidst the waves just in case. But I no longer see the water flow beneath my feet, and my mind won't listen to my confessions because my progression is a line in the sand that my body won't complete. So I carved our initials and not our names into the trees to keep our finale open-ended. See, I thought it'd bring you comfort to see that there is no need to be transparent. You could dance in the silence until the thank you reciprocates. But like a playwright in the fourth act before the first one's ever written, we shot the gun before it was loaded and cut the wires from the transmission with shots so loud that there was nothing to hear the tree fall. You see, I had to hear the answer within the buzzing of the radio silence, and I promised that despite the lack of expectation for a beautiful soliloquy in return, I deserved so much more than a floral design to an empty urn. Well, the settlers wrote songs about the mountain's light bounced off the white snow. The purples and reds of the stretched out peaks looked like a mantle holding God's lantern glow. And so we filled the land with smoke to try and maintain the metaphor. Or something such as that. Of a purely shaped cloud against a polluted southern sunset. But let those songs be duly noted that they only added the instruments years later to try to hide that the letters when put together were no longer at the hand of the manufacturer. More like the crow made up of many feathers. For just like that caged bird, we move around with our own prisons. The view brings me joy, though these cell walls offer a disruptive composition where I can no longer separate the beauty from the madness in the middle. And that caged bird is like love, because the worst of us comes out when we are in it. We then search for something to free ourselves and end up just carrying the weight within us. And like the notes that the sunset colors left for us, we ruin beautiful things with undeserved confidence, so I wait impatiently. And rather like a leaf in the winter, I chose to stay and freeze while my friends left long ago to burn with all of the scenery. And like the messages in between, they're ill-received, while the migration moves south further than the sunset still impeding, and that fire was so deceiving. Like the ocean, it gave and it took away. And I act like I am God and say that it is all the same. But like the colors of the kaleidoscope, there's no beauty without change. So I wander in the fourth act while I remain on the stage, wondering if the lights will go out before my last bow is taken, but I am not afraid. For that could only continue a story that's already ended. And that those moments that I spent in character, they released me of my aggression. Spilling on the floor like whiskey in a tavern with a child stuck at home, hoping that when his father comes back, he gets to see the better version of him. But sometimes I feel like a church made up of rejected cornerstones is only big enough for me. Or maybe that's all I let in. I saw the shaking of the structure as a sign to keep my loved ones away, but in my failure, I found salvation, and in my success, I became defeated. And only in the midst of the radio silence did I hear my true story. And only at the sense of loss did I see what I had right in front of me. I stopped searching for love from the architects who tossed my cornerstones through the litter, and I fell in love with the structure as it turned into the theater. So with contentment, I will bow comfortably. Because in the end, it was all just a play. Was any of it real, or did we save it for the stage? Like some disgruntled playwright sitting at the ovation, I replaced the silence with the tough truth I wanted you to say. So, through the radio silence, I hope you hear this message. Whether I'm in your thoughts or just in your passage, we were still created in God's image. So I'll offer a servant's heart, and I'll try to make the best of it. And I'll carry the weight between us. and build a church with all the pieces. Thank you.
That is what it's about, right? Dang. That is wonderful.